Yeah, Dave, so I'm down here in South Florida, and I know you've probably got a couple questions. Jack, what are you doing in South Florida, number one? And B, how could you possibly be wearing a suit down there? It's 82 degrees, and you are right on both. We're down here. Beat the Odds TV came to South Florida because this represents a lot of what this game between Miami and New York represent a lot of what the general public is going to be doing wrong this week. So we thought we'd drill down a little bit deeper on that. And yes, I'm dying a heat stroke. It's hot down here. But luckily, I'm not playing in the game. The guys playing in the game, they're okay with the heat. Weather is something that's overvalued in this week 17 and 18 as we get some of these extreme temperatures across the country. More importantly, we have teams with something to play for versus teams with nothing to play for, at least perceptionally. And that's what we have going on in Miami. New York, out of the playoffs. Miami still has a shot with a win and a tiny bit of help. So I think the general public, the consensus will be, you play the team with something to play for. The reality is that gets you in trouble in Week 18. 63% of the teams that are basically playing for a reservation to go to Cabo next week, they typically get it done as it relates to the number in Week 17 and 18 against teams with something to play for. Dig a little bit deeper, teams that perceptionally had a bad year playing teams with a good year, they cover. The bad teams cover at about a 60% clip in Week 17 and 18. So the value is created by the line being moved by the teams that have something to play for, basically things the general public believes are important that aren't. The reality is these teams that have nothing to play for are playing for a lot. Head coach is stable in New York. They're evaluating talent. They have a future, an optimistic future going forward, so they don't have a lame duck coach situation, and they will come out and they will play well. Combine that with how they've done in this series, might have a live dog here. Stay tuned for my top play at the end, but Miami represents a lot of what will get you in trouble in Week 17 and 18, playing what you think would be important as a fan or as an owner. That doesn't necessarily apply to the field. Coaches coach to win. Always players play to win, and it's going to create some values in this Week 18 with some of these teams you think are dead to rights. So stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more from sunny South Florida as the show goes along.